To listen back to it. A little bit. Now? Well, it's not tomorrow, yeah? You have it? Yeah. I must thank you. You give me back my neshama, you know?
Do you remember the one from Shalosh?
What?
The one from Shalosh was the video.
The second one? Yeah. Come back. I always tell Rabbi, I'm not recording on Shabbos because of you, so you better give it back to me. Yeah?
Maybe somebody remembers.
No, I'll tell you something, you know. The Holy Sanzer, a lot of times, Mamash, let's say, had a tshuva, right? He had to answer, and suddenly in the middle of Shmona Esrei, the answer would come to him, but you don't think of learning in the middle of davening. So he would say, Rabbi, I'm giving it up for you, so you better give it back to me after, you know. Mamash, simple, yeah. Whatever. You know, I want you to know the Holy Slonimer, the last Slonimer, and one of the last letters he wrote to the Chassidim in Eretz Yisrael, before Nebuch. He was Nebuch, whatever it is. How could you say a rabbi like this, Chas v'Shalom, died, you know? You cannot even utter such words about a rabbi like this. Remember, he became a rabbi when he was 19 years old before the war, Mamash. The last son of a rabbi, Mamash, fire. I don't know if some of you remember I told you, the Hinoyam before Hanukkah left mentioned, just the Hinoyam was 7 hours. Mamash, it's hundreds of times Hinoyam Hashem Elokeinu Aleinu. You know? Hundreds of times. God's sweetness should be upon us, you know? Hundreds of times. And I heard it from a Yidel who was there. You know, I heard it from a Misnagid, and he was not exaggerated, because the Misnagid likes to make it smaller than it is, you know? He says, I came to Slonim, and I heard this little rebbe here, he's 19 years old, and he's a Misnagid, so he is. So he says, I thought, he needs parnosa, right? He's becoming a rebbe, right? So, he needs to make a few rubles, he's becoming a rebbe. Anyway, so he says, I was mamish there, and this was mamish like, it's mamish a gewalt, you know? Anyway, so he writes in one of his last letters, he says, I promise you, whatever you give up for the Rabbeinu Shalom, he'll give back to you 1,000,000 times. Gewalt, you know? Whatever you give up for God. He says, anything from pleasure to anything in the world, whatever you give up for God, he says, I swear to you, he'll give it back to you 100 times. You see, it's so special. You know, I was somewhere, you know, like, the Moshe doesn't want to take anything away from us, you know. He wants to give us more, but all we need different vessels, you know. Like if a dog is holding on to an old bone, you can't give him a new bone. He says, I'm sorry, we're going to give you a fresh bone with meat on it. But let go of the old bone, you know. I don't want to take it away from you. I want to give you a better bone, you know. 2 bones, yeah. I have to tell you a Gewalt story. You know, in Kerestirer, I mentioned last night, Kerestirer was very much a play on words, you know. A Yidle came to him, was asking him a brocha for children. And you know, in Yiddish, a bone of a chicken is called a bane, you know. So he was there for Shabbos. On the middle of Friday night, he took a bone of a chicken, you know. And he says, Nadir a bane, you know. A bane, you know. Nadir a son, you know. A bane, you know. Okay, one time he stopped at the gas station and he needed benzene, you know, gas in Yiddish, benzene. So on the Yiddish comes out and hungry and he says, Rebbe, Mamash, I need the brocha for children. So he says, what? Benzene. No, benzene. He says, okay, call him benzene, you know? The valves, you know? Benzene, call him benzene, you know?
I thought it was twins. Ben and Zine.
No, it's just one
Ben and
benzene, yeah.
Zine.
With that he this Heilige Kerestirer was where at Rebbe. A Yidele came to him from a real, like, a little bit more educated, so to speak. Yidele from Budapest. He says, Rebbe, Mamish, at the end I have a lawsuit, and unless I have the best lawyer in the world, I'm losing the case, and I should be in prison all my life. So the Holy Kerestirer says, okay, I have the best lawyer for you. He says, where will I find him? He says, I'm sending him to you. I tell you. Anyway, so in the meantime, he's from Kerestirer to Budapest. You have to change trains on a little lonely train station. And he's sitting there, and suddenly Mamash, a drunkard, staggering, sitting on his bench. He starts talking to him. He says, how are you? What are you doing? He says, do you need a lawyer by any chance? A lawyer, you know. He says, like, even if I need one, you know, I mean, I'm not going to take him. And every few minutes, he says to him, listen, I'm the best lawyer in the world. Do you need one? And he walked in, little safer, right? So he says, I can't. Then he lost the suitcase and the case and the suit. Anyway, should never lose the suitcase, that's sure. Anyway, he lost the case. Anyway, in other words, he comes back to Heilige Kerestirer. He says, Rebbe, you know, I was waiting for the lawyer. So he said, I'm saying you're the best lawyer. You're not the mamash b'choyde ba'atzma. Came and offered you his service. You know, it's very crazy. A lot of times, you know, we're waiting for things, and when it comes, it doesn't look the way we thought it should look like, you know? And we just... Let's sing one more song. Mashiach is coming riding on a donkey. Mashiach can't afford a car. But Mashiach is also one of those things, it doesn't look the way you think it'll look, right? Whatever you think Mashiach looks like, he won't look like that, right? He won't look like that. And it's up to you. I have to tell you just an Amri Mashiach story. Do you know someone came to the Holy Shinever? There was one Jew, Mamish, was giving over Yidden to police, Mamish making trouble. So someone came to the Holy Shinever and says, Rebbe, I want you to curse this Yidele. You know, you can, Mamish, give him a one-way ticket to the other world. So this is what the Holy Shinever says. It says, I forgot the posuk, it says, when Mashiach is coming, then the nations of the world will bring gifts to Mashiach. He says, what kind of gifts do they bring? They bring a little piece of gold, a little Israeli bond. What are they going to bring him, right? A leftover checkbook from Yaakov Avinu. What does he need? So he says, like about Torah. Can you imagine when Mashiach is coming, there will still be some Yidden who will not identify themselves as Jews. And the Goyim will get so angry with them, they'll tie this Yidel on a donkey and then bring him Mashiach as a gift. So he says, what kind of a Yidel will that be, who after Mashiach is coming, he still wants to be a Goy? A Yid like this. He says, what kind of a Jew will that be that even after Mashiach is coming, he still wants to be a Goy? He says, it'll be a kind of a Jew whom you want me to curse, right? You're so low rotten. He says, if he's good enough as a gift for Mashiach, I don't want to curse him. Like about. Well, Holy Shinever, It's like about. You know, sometimes we meet so many low people, but they'll be the gifts for Mashiach. I just want to share something with you. I said it last week by mail. No, last week was Surah B'Tevis. Surah B'Tevis is that the Romans, mamish, besieged us and they, mamish, cut us off from the world. Okay, Yerushalayim is surrounded, we are cut off from the world. Let me ask you something. Basically, what was the sweetest thing they did for us? They wanted us to have more privacy, right? Beautiful. Everybody's crying for privacy. See, Baruch Hashem, the Romans came, surrounded Yerushalayim, and we have our own privacy. You know, there are certain things when they are forced. There are certain things, it's beautiful if I do it on my own, and it's terrible if I do it by force. But there are certain things, if they're done by force, it's not that, right? If I want to be alone with somebody by my choice, it's beautiful. If you force me to be alone with somebody I don't want to, it's hell, right? It's not private, it's hell. And you know what it is? The fixing of a Surah B'Tevis is, basically it's right after Hanukkah, you know, it's the deepest secret in the world is when to be alone or when to keep the door open. You know? And right after Surah B'Tevis, Mamish, when they wanted us to be alone by force, you know what we are fixing is, you know, Mamish, we're fixing when to be alone with God or when to open the gates for Yidden. You know? So hard to know exactly when, you know. Anyway, I just want to bless you and me and all of us. We should, Mamish, have choice, assume to be private or not, you know. Well, is that special, you know. Shmina Tzeras, Mamish, have private with God, right? Mamish, us alone with Rabbanu Shalom. After we fix the whole world, like Sukkot is like Hanukkah, we open the gates to the world, we're fixing the 70 nations. Shmina Tzeras is Mamish, us alone. We should be alone when? See, I have my personal feeling like this. Reformed Jews, we're not talking like from the highest level. Reformed Jews, they also have something to say. That we didn't open the gates enough for the Goyim. It's true. Hanukkah, you got it. We never had any contact with them. The only thing is, they have no idea of the privacy between Yidden and God, right? That they have no sense, right? The whole thing has been pressed to going out to do. What's about me? What's about my Shabbos? My Torah? What's my Gemara? All my private things that they don't have, right? But what we have to do, we have to fix what the world needs, mamash, right? Strong fixing, right? Because to know mamash when not to have to do with the world, or when yes to have to do with the world. Basically, besides all terrible politics, I'm not meaning in that, and the world looks so gloomy, the truth is the world is becoming mamish. The world is mamish opening gates for us in the most unbelievable way. The most unbelievable way. Chaim l'chaim, we should take advantage of it.